right, hey guys, how are y'all doing? Super late post for today's assignment. I do apologize. It was steady busy today, but hopefully you're staying busy as well. I do want to kind of reflect back on last week's assignment. I got 11 out of the 19 of y'all to go ahead and participate, so that was good. Those that are participating, guys, make sure that you are staying consistent with not only this class but with all of your classes. Again, I'm not going to take too much of your time, but we're going to introduce a new assignment. And the timetable is really open to us just kind of finishing up the semester. This paper is one of the biggest things that we do because it allows you to kind of search within and figure out what's going to stop you from being successful in college. One of the barriers that we could probably talk about right now is this crazy COVID 19 or coronavirus. And while it's a barrier for everybody right now, I want you to kind of lean away from using that as a crutch for your paper. I want you to kind of look in your personal life, and I kind of want you to look within yourself to be able to identify other barriers. And I apologize if you hear the baby. He's eating blueberries, but that's okay. I do want to kind of reflect. Hopefully, some of y'all got to look back at some individual responses on last week's stuff. And I'm looking at a different screen, so if I look crazy on the camera right now, I do apologize. Um, but I love seeing some of the just the encouragement and the experiences that some of y'all are doing right now. Working out from home, getting to go to spring break, but then getting back in time. Um, God, working computer, $2,400 down the drain. Jeez, your art is absolutely amazing. If you have not seen that on the discussion board, please go check it out. Very talented, very incredible. Um, some of y'all still have jobs, and we're taking a hit in the market right now, and so a lot of y'all are part time, a lot of y'all are full time. Um, Jeffrey got a new puppy and a new iPad Pro, and decided to attend BYU Hawaii in January. Congratulations, man! That's amazing. Again, if you haven't got to see these, I want you to go on and just kind of look at what your network is currently doing and what they're experiencing, because very simply this network can be a benefit to you in the future. Ulysses, he lost his job, but it seems like he's got back up on his feet pretty quick, and he is still on them video games probably all night. I know what's going on, man, but play that music. It's amazing. Worst spring break ever, but hey, you know what? We're still alive. We're still kicking. We're still getting better at everything that we do. Um, there is a rainbow after every storm. I dig that, Angel. Um, Making some. I don't know what B money is. Brooklyn, what is B money? It's better than no money, though. Um, I like that. Paid off classes for this semester. Hey, let's keep it going. Let's keep focused, because this is a temporary thing. I talked about temporary deals in your life, and in this, what we're experiencing right now, we don't get to see each other face to face, and some of y'all may like it, some of y'all may not, but we don't get to see each other face to face. So these little wins that we get, the rainbow at the end of every storm, um, it, it's a huge driving point. So relying on each other and seeing what each other is going through is huge. Good health, essential worker. There you go, Mickey, essential worker. They're making you go in every single day, huh? I'm glad that classes start up again, because it allows us to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So that's awesome. Um, Brought in knowledge in the. Okay, all right, Raymond. I see what you're doing. All right, so again, glad classes are back up and running, because again, we get to see how to be successful. We get to own that end game, and you're going into double major. Am I reading that right? Jeez, you're going to broaden your knowledge outside of medicine as well. Wow. So that's phenomenal, and I just want to congratulate those that did participate. And I got to be honest with you, we got some people that have not gotten on yet, um, really since January, but that's on them. Make sure that you're staying focused on your success, because you ultimately are the one that is responsible for your success, and truly nobody else is. So Please stay consistent in your engagement, not just in this class, but in other classes as well. I do want to introduce to you our next assignment now. Real quick, I fly off the cuff, right? So, real quick, I do hope that y'all are kind of reflecting over some of those goals that I talked about last week. You know them, you know which ones are yours. I don't have to call out any names on it, but make sure that you're reflecting on those goals and make sure that you are actively renewing and coming up with new ideas, new thoughts about how you can not only better yourself, but better your situation. And ultimately, we're reaching the end. We're reaching that dot that's over here. We're going from point A to point B, and we're finding our marshmallow. We have that circle of knowledge. We need to be here, though. So how do we get there? So that's a very big deal for you to think about. The path to success analysis paper is a very easy assignment because there's really no right or wrong answer for it. And if you go to our content modules on D2L, you will see this paper right here. Very simple, very straightforward. I printed it with red ink. I'm probably going to regret that later when I run out of ink, but that's cool. Whatever. You don't have to print it. I'm just going to, actually, I don't have to read it to you because that doesn't make any sense, right? But what you want to do is you want to be able to focus on finding a barrier, something that's a blockade for your success, something that's stopping you from ultimately finding that marshmallow and becoming the successful person that you want to be. Not that somebody else wants you to be, or not that an idea that somebody else gave you, but ultimately what you want to be. And so it's essential, and we talked about it, and it says at the top of this paper, and I do want you to read the heading of it. I don't want you to just dive in. I want you to think about what barrier there is. And when we still met face-to-face, we talked a lot about family barriers are some of the biggest barriers because we hear a lot, and now generationally it's starting to change a little bit, but what we do is we hear a lot about parents and grandparents who are successful, but they will tell the younger generation, whoa, come on, man, you don't need college. I did it without college. Look at me. And that's good. But that's not an always guaranteed situation. And so we do want to better ourselves and better our abilities to be successful by continuing to educate ourselves and to continue to be lifelong learners. And this, you're in the right stage of your life to continue to do this. Your paper must be MLA formatted, guys. Google search it. We didn't get to go on the library tour and get that set up. It's not terrible. It's not hard. You need to have it typed. I have a Dropbox open, and it is very simply, you just drop your paper there. The paper is not long. It needs to have a header. It needs to have a footer. Or rather, let me take that back. A header and a heading, not a footer. I do apologize. Those two go together, so I ramble. And address each of the questions in there. Literally, guys, there's only 4 of them. This is super easy. So I want you to formulate good thought. There is nothing that is saying that you need to write a 25-page dissertation. A lot of times these papers only are 1 page, but a lot of times they go over into 2 or 3, because once you start really digging into yourself and you start digging into your thoughts and your ideas, you'll continue to go and you'll continue to ramble on. And if you are rambling on, download your free Grammarly account at this time. It is available through Lone Star College Systems. Thank you. If you need help with that, let me know. I'll fix you up. So very simple. The paper begins and ends with an introduction and then ends with a conclusion. And then you literally have just 2 paragraphs in the middle, kind of 2 discussions that you can break up however you want. But make sure that you throw in the introduction. Give me something to read. These are not going to be shared out. This is for you and I, just like your goals were. But I want you to really grab my attention. And the reason why I say that is because if you're grabbing my attention, that means that you thought through your process. And if you can think through your process, that means that you're digging down deep inside and actually thinking and not just saying, well, money's an issue. Yeah, that's cool. Money's an issue for everybody, but that's not necessarily a barrier, because there's tens of thousands of dollars left on the table every year at Lone Star University Park alone, that all you got to do is just fill out some stuff, ask some questions, get the money. So really think deep into kind of what could be a barrier for you. And then the focus of your paper. what are you going to be discussing? It's the thesis, right? It's the main idea. It's the big picture of what you're going to be discussing. Going into the meat of it, I want you to identify the barrier for college success, describe it, and tell me about it. How's it going to interfere with you? How's it going to create issues between the next, well, now not 4 years anymore, but maybe 3.5 to 4.5 years? And then in the next paragraph, I want you to be very strategic. You may not know all the answers now, and your answers may not be right looking back in 5 years. But what I want you to look at is, if I were to say, I need to overcome this barrier, I want you to look at options that will help you overcome it. Let me give you an example. A barrier for me, very simply, I did not know how to learn. Now, we discussed this. Now, it wasn't necessarily a barrier for my success because I had to learn very quickly because I realized I'm paying what to do this? So I had to figure it out very, very quickly. But in essence, my first semester, it was a huge barrier that I had to overcome very quickly. Barriers do not necessarily take a long period of time to overcome. They can be overcome as soon as they're identified, hence this paper, right? It's not rocket science, guys. It's a matter of understanding where you're at in your learning and where you're at in your drive to be successful in the future. So whenever we're looking at strategies, what I want you to do is I want you to think about many different things. And it says on here, refer back to Smarter Measure and look at where are you super ready for these things? Are you like, yeah, I'm cool? Or are you not ready at all? These identifiers will help you kind of develop what direction your paper wants to go. And then very simply, the conclusion. This is junior high paper writing stuff, guys. You're going to restate your thesis. You're going to really bring it back into what you said in the introduction, and then really summarize it. Okay, you're not solving the world's problems by writing this paper, but I can promise you, you're going to look back. Remember when you're walking across the stage, you're smiling really big, you're shaking some stranger's hands, getting that fake little diploma, standing in front of the American flag going, geez, you're going to think, man, Hartman was right. I identified that barrier. I was able to overcome that barrier, and it wasn't just that one, man. I identified a bunch of them because there's always going to be a bunch of barriers that you face way outside of college, right? Way outside of college. But once you get to that point of understanding how to do simple things like this, then you have ultimate success. There's really nobody that can stop you because you're the one that's responsible for your success. Nobody else is. So make sure that you keep that mentality all the time, no matter what. There's absolutely no deadline for this except for May 22nd because that's the end of the semester now. Get it written up. Get it dropped in the Dropbox. And if you have any questions at all, if you have any comments at all, please go ahead and shoot me an email. I am going to open up a discussion board that allows for Q&A. I'll have that open by the time this video loads up. And that's it. I miss you guys terribly. I hope everybody is doing great. Make sure and keep us updated. The discussion board that we started last week, keep feeding some info in there, guys, and I'll address it on weekly videos. And hopefully next week we can get a Zoom meeting going. We can see each other's faces again. And that's it. All right. Until next time, we'll talk soon, guys. Bye.